call the special meeting to order at 6 p.m. We get a roll call, please.
Mr. Bellfiore?
Here.
Mr. Bianco?
Here.
Mr. Julio?
Here.
Mr. Hudson?
Here.
Mrs. Paletti? Mr. Arcida?
Here.
Mr. Sokol?
Here. Or this day was the fall. Please rise to the pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I just ask everyone to stay standing for just a minute? There was a fallen officer that lost his life today. Just out of respect, if we could have a minute of silence. Thank you. Great. The mission of Norridge School District 80 is inspiring educational excellence in a nurturing environment. We received several pieces of correspondence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually 12, we didn't put you. They're from the Ridgewood High School students from band, letting us know how they feel and how the band impacted their lives. And we'll go right into our presentation. Dr. Schilling. I'm sorry.
So the reason we have the presentation here is this goes back to the presentation that Dr. Schilling had presented regarding the options for the band, and we sent out to fourth grade parents, 5th grade, to be 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade for the following week. We sent a survey out, and we received information based on that survey. So that was the first thing. And then we sent out a secondary survey that was with assistance from the band director and the principal. So I'm going to have Principal Palmer speak to some of the numbers that we've already shared with the board. And this is one of these situations where not only do we have a belt, but we had suspenders in this because we wanted to basically be sure that we had numbers that accurately reflected what the board was looking for. But go ahead, if you know how.
So our first survey was an online survey using SurveyMonkey. And there were 2 questions. One question was to our current 4th grade parents, all parents of 4th graders, would you be willing to pay $800 to support your child in band next year? And we had 11 parents representing 11 students who voted yes for that, and 25 responded to the survey no. So for a total of 36 parents of 4th graders. We had an online survey question that was separate, that was sent to parents of students in 5th, 6th, and 7th grade. And the question for them was whether or not you were willing to pay $650 to support your child's band experience remaining the same for next year. And when we did that survey, 87 of the respondents, or 87 students represented, said no, and 85 said yes to the 650. And the reason why I say that is that there were IP addresses. SurveyMonkey gives you IP addresses back. So I could tell that there was a single IP address that had multiple answers. And in some cases, there were several parents who had, for example, said no, they wouldn't pay it for a student who was in 5th or 6th grade, but they would pay it for someone who was going to be in 8th grade. So sort of that kind of idea, yes, I would finish out my child's experience, but I wouldn't continue with younger siblings kind of answer. So we got that data back, and we felt that I talked to Chris, we just felt that we wanted to have a more transparent survey. We wanted a survey that really explained the situation, because the SurveyMonkey survey was very clear, but it was very simple. It was one question. So we sat down, Mr. Picaro and I created a survey on paper that was very clear about the consequences of the no, that it could very much mean the elimination of band. We sent that survey home with all of our students who are in band in 5th, 6th, and 7th grade, and we got back surveys that included the following answers. 45 respondents, representing 45 students, said no, they were not willing to pay either $650 or $800. We had 51 respondents, or representing 51 band members, saying yes to $650, and 18 saying yes to $800. So for a total of 69 yeses paying for band next year in the paper survey. And we had a deadline, and we extended the deadline, and we took all the ballots up until, I think it was yesterday. So we were, welcoming of all input. Any questions?
How many surveys were sent out then? How many could have potentially been returned?
How many students in
There's 181 students in the band program.
Yeah,
So 181, and you only received 113 responses?
yes.
Was there any other attempts to reach the parent that had not sent them out via phone or other message?
We sent the survey on paper, but I also sent it via our text and email alert through our Power School. So it was sent both ways in case your child might have misplaced it in his backpack. So we sent it out several times. We also alerted people in our weekly newsletter to please respond. So.
And Chris also announced during the performance, he actually told the parents about the survey being sent home.
Correct.
Any other questions from the board? Great, thank you. Public participation?
Okay, we have 4. 1 second, let me read the statement. All right, again.
It's fine. Go ahead.
The first person on the list is Rick Lopresto. Yes.
Can you just stand right there and choose conference now?
Okay. My name is Rick Lopresto. I'm an alumni of District 80, Giles class of 87, and District 234, class of 91. And I'm here to urge you to seek other avenues for cutting expenses rather than removing instrumental music in District 80 or this $800 fee. It's quite steep for this community, you have to admit. Studying instrumental music is a unique and worthy curricular offering that has no substitute anywhere else in school. The research in favor of performance music in the schools is overwhelming. An article in a peer-reviewed journal, Frontiers in Human Neuroscience, shows a link between musicians with at least 10 years of instrumental music study and remaining cognitively sharp throughout advancing age. Those studies begin in elementary and middle school. The work that Mr. Bucaro and the other elementary instrumental music teachers all around the state do has real and lasting effects long after these students' school days have ended. In an article just this past December in the Washington Post, traits of success were tracked by tech giant Google. They did a study starting in 2013, testing all of its hiring algorithms to look at the most important qualities of its employees. Among the 8 most important qualities of Google's employees, STEM expertise was dead last. The top 7 characteristics of success at Google are being a good coach, listening and communicating well, possessing insights into others, including others' different values and points of view, having empathy toward and being supportive of one's colleagues, being a good critical thinker and problem solver, and being able to make connections across complex ideas. These are all traits that band students do constantly, every day. They don't perform without doing all of those. In addition to the cognitive and developmental advantages previously mentioned, being involved in instrumental music fills a unique niche for students' social and emotional growth. Members of the band have a connection, a bond, unlike in other academic offerings, including team sports. For many, band is where they finally find their place. This is where they connect with their people. I can speak to this directly. Like many of District 80's current students, when I was in middle school at Giles, I struggled to find my place. I achieved very high marks in all of my classes. I was valedictorian of the class of 87. However, something was missing. I had loose connections socially throughout my day, but it wasn't until I found my place in the band that I really found the people that I connected with. My band experience took my days in middle school from passable to enjoyable. The personal connections I made in band at Giles and then later at Ridgewood were vital to my social and emotional maturity. So much so, in fact, that after high school, I majored in music education and now spend my days teaching middle school band. I can vouch firsthand, watching my own students, they're in the exact same place that I was, and I'm sure the same place that the District 80 students are. If we're going to educate the entire student, instrumental music must remain a public school offering. And by public school, I mean not with an $800 fee attached to it. That is hardly public. Additionally, I continue to build those same bonds with other musicians in adult community band, where I'm actually supposed to be right now. Members range in age, my adult band, from people in their 20s to their 80s. Playing music is absolutely a lifelong endeavor. Long after the knees have given out playing basketball, you can keep playing music with other people. Every year, the Chicago Tribune publishes a list of academic all-stars. Invariably, many, if not most, of those students cite performance in instrumental music among their list of influences. What is shown year after year in school system after school system is that band makes good people. In order for District 80 and District 234 to remain academically competitive, instrumental music must remain among the course offerings. For District 80 to pass that entire burden to 234 is comparable to recommending that you eliminate math or science offerings. After all, we've got those in high school, but those foundations are laid down in elementary school and in middle school. Those are imperative to continuing success in any school endeavor, math, science, reading, or music. The opening Olympic ceremony last week emphasized a point that remains true in every aspect of life. If it's important, if it's special, if it's meaningful, always there is music. To make a film number, music. At a wedding or a funeral, music. To celebrate successes in all walks of life, from athletic achievements to academic commencement, music. You hold the keys to helping the students in District 80 be the next generation of music majors. Their lives, their existence are important and special and meaningful. So there must be music. They deserve it. There has to be another way. There has to be.
Thank you. Thank you for your words, Rick. So next on the list is Patty Mann. Question mark?
Yeah, I got a question. I just, I know you guys have to make a rough decision. I'm Patty Mann, alumni, Giles, Ridgewood, band member, whatever. I know you have a rough decision to make tonight, and I just want to let you know that there is a group of people that is working on, and I know some people think this might be fruitless effort, but we're trying to get some funds raised to support the music program, whatever the decision is going to be tonight. But, looking at the audience here tonight, it's once again, we were hopeful. I don't have any students here, and I have no vested interest other than this is my community.